The biggest sporting event in American history is supposed to kick off in just weeks, and right now, behind closed doors, things are not going according to plan. Stay with me because what's happening with the 2026 World Cup is something every American needs to hear. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and smash the like button because we cover stories like this every single day and you do not want to miss what's coming. Let's go back to when this all started. In 2018, the United States, Canada, and Mexico joined hands and made a historic bid to host the FIFA World Cup 2026. It was sold as the greatest World Cup ever. 48 teams, 16 cities, 3 countries, and over 3 million fans expected to fill stadiums across North America. FIFA was excited. The world was excited. Americans were excited. This was supposed to be the moment that soccer, or football, as the rest of the world calls it, truly arrived in the United States in a massive, undeniable way. But fast forward to today, and the picture looks very, very different from what was promised. Let's start with what's actually happening on the ground, because the cracks in this tournament's foundation are getting harder to ignore. Multiple host cities have reported serious delays in stadium upgrades and infrastructure improvements. When you're hosting the world's biggest sporting event, you cannot afford delays. Not even small ones. FIFA has specific standards that every venue must meet. And right now, some American cities are in a race against the clock to get things ready in time. Transportation systems, security upgrades, fan zones, media centers, all of this takes coordination at a level that most people don't fully understand. And reports are now surfacing that some of that coordination has been messy, slow, and in some cases, completely chaotic. Then there's the political situation, and this one is big. The United States right now is in a very complicated place when it comes to immigration and travel policies. The FIVA's World Cup isn't just an American event, it's a global event. Fans from over 48 countries are expected to travel to the United States to watch their teams play. But for fans from several nations, getting a U.S. visa has become increasingly difficult. There are reports of fans being denied visas, long delays in processing, and serious confusion around travel documentation. When a Mexican fan can't easily travel to see Mexico play on American soil during a tournament that America is co-hosting, that is a serious problem. FIFA has raised this issue, and they have been very clear that every fan from every participating nation must have a fair and accessible path to attend these matches. Whether that message has been fully heard and acted upon is still a question that many are asking out loud. Now let's talk about FIFA itself, because the organization is not without its own share of pressure here. FIFA has been under intense scrutiny for years. Concerns about governance, transparency, and how decisions are made at the highest level. And with the 2026 World Cup, critics are asking whether FIFA did enough due diligence before locking in American cities as host venues. Some of these cities have massive logistical challenges. Traffic, public transport limitations, extreme summer heat in certain regions. Hosting World Cup matches in June and July in places with intense heat raises genuine concerns, not just about fan comfort, but about player safety and performance. FIFA and local organizers are working on solutions, but solutions that should have been finalized long ago are still being discussed right now. The stadium situation deserves its own conversation. The United States, unlike most World Cup host nations, doesn't have purpose-built soccer stadiums that meet FIFA's size and standard requirements across the board. Instead, they're using NFL stadiums, massive, impressive venues, but venues that require significant modification for a FIFA tournament. Grass fields replacing artificial turf, reconfigured locker rooms, updated broadcasting infrastructure. All of this takes time and money. And while most venues are on track, the fact that any venue is still working through these changes this close to the tournament is something that journalists and football federations around the world are watching very carefully. Let's not forget the economic side of this either. The World Cup was promised to bring billions of dollars into the American economy. Hotels, restaurants, airlines, local businesses, everyone was told this would be a massive financial windfall. But with visa concerns, logistical questions, and uncertainty around certain host cities, some travel and hospitality businesses are now saying that international bookings are lower than expected. That gap between expectation and reality is something that city officials are quietly worried about, even if they're staying positive in their public statements. There's also been tension between the 3 co-hosting nations, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Coordinating a tournament across 3 countries with 3 different governments, 3 different sets of regulations, and 3 different infrastructures is enormously complex. There have been disagreements, or at least differences in approach, when it comes to branding, scheduling decisions, and how responsibilities are divided. FIFA sits at the center of all of this, trying to keep everyone aligned. But managing 3 governments while also keeping the global football community happy is not a simple task. And then there's the protest angle, because wherever a mega event like the World Cup goes, community voices follow. In several American host cities, local residents and community groups have raised concerns about rising costs, displacement, and who actually benefits when the world's biggest tournament comes to town. These are legitimate conversations that are happening in neighborhoods across the country, and they deserve to be acknowledged. Here's the bigger picture, though. Despite everything, despite the delays, the visa issues, the political tensions, the logistical headaches, the 2026 World Cup is still scheduled to happen, and there is still enormous excitement around it. The talent coming to this tournament is incredible. The matchups that could happen on American soil in front of American crowds have the potential to be genuinely historic. Soccer's popularity in the United States has grown dramatically over the past decade, and millions of Americans are genuinely passionate about this moment. But passion alone doesn't run a World Cup. Organization does. Coordination does. Political will and smart leadership do. And right now, the world is watching to see whether the United States, Canada, Mexico, and FIFA can pull all of this together in time, or whether the cracks we're seeing now turn into something bigger. The next few weeks are going to be critical. Decisions being made right now in boardrooms, government offices, and FIFA headquarters are going to shape whether this tournament goes down in history as a triumph or as a cautionary tale about what happens when ambition outpaces preparation. So what do you think? Is the 2026 World Cup going to pull through and deliver on its massive promise? Or are these warning signs something we should all be taking more seriously? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We genuinely want to know what you think, and your comments help this channel grow so we can keep bringing you coverage like this. If you found this video informative, please share it with someone who follows football or is planning to attend the World Cup, because this is exactly the kind of story people need to be talking about. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. Hit that button, turn on notifications, and stay with us as we continue to follow every update on the 2026 World Cup story as it develops.